to tell my people thus said the Lord, but they don't hear me now. They don't hear me now. Trying to give them something that can say they soul, but they don't feel me now. They don't feel me now. Trying to tell my people thus said the Lord, but they don't hear me now. They don't hear me now. Trying to give them something that can say they soul, but they don't feel me now. They don't hear me now. I used to think that I was high.
What is typology, man? Aki, you want to pull that up? You got that on the share screen, typology?
What is typology and how they used it in the Bible?
This is what we're dealing with in this New Testament. Typology. We're going to break this down. For those of you, shalom sis, shalom sisters. I hope all is well. What we was going over was a little bit inside this book, The Caesar's Messiah right here, which is the invention, the conspiracy to create or to invent Jesus Christ. And this is the Babylonians, the Herodians, and Alexanders.
The Grecians.
So, the Greeks, all Greeks. So this was their conspiracy to even make up Jesus Christ as a character. And the way how they went about doing it was using typology. And each three families was significant in their own right. So one had wealth and all the power, one was mighty in the army, and one had great writing skills and owned certain presses and was able, and all three of them together was able to invent this Jesus Christ through typology. So if you ask me, was he a real character? According to this, I would say no. I'm gonna say no, period. The whole Testament is just made up. That's me personally, from studying that I've done. I'm not even rolling with it. Period, point blank. Again, it's good information in there as far as if it's leading you back to the Old Testament, telling you keep the commandments. Again, even in Matthew 5:17, where Yahushua says, so why call me good? It's only one good, and that's God. So certain things in there that's good for you, but the majority of it, you know, that's where you have to have that spirit of discernment. The majority of it, I'm not rolling with. There's too many different discrepancies and too many contradictions to the Torah. I mean, from the New Testament and the Torah. So, and again, we're gonna pull some examples of typology that they use when writing the New Testament. So this is the definition of typology. You want to go ahead and read it out, Art?
Typology, a classification according to general type, especially in archaeology, physiology, or the social sciences. Study for analysis using typology.
Okay, verse 2.
The study and interpretation of types and symbols originally, especially in the Bible.
So the study of interpretation. So these scholars who wrote this New Testament, they studied the interpretation on how to flip the interpretation of the Old Testament into the New Testament. It was a whole flip game, and we'll show you an example of that in a second. And you see it says originally, especially in the Bible. Why is it especially in the Bible? So when you look at the origin of that, it's the Greek and English, Greek, Romans, typology, especially in the Bible, the New Testament. This is what they wrote in the Bible. The Greeks wrote the New Testament. That's why it says especially in the Bible. Let's go down here where it says use over time, because it didn't come into play. The word or typology wasn't used until early 1900s. 1920 is when it first started coming into play. This is when the Babylonians and everybody start taking over rulership. But look where we at as we go through the years. Typology through this New Testament, where we at? 2019, the peak. 2019 is at its peak for using typology. Again, where they take a story and they flip it to basically fit the agenda of today. So like when we out there street teaching, we'll be out, teaching about slavery, and we'll bring up, again, Deuteronomy and some of the curses of Deuteronomy, how our ancestors was in the field. And then we'll bring it up to cursed in the city. How are we cursed in the city today? Well, we the first ones fired, last ones hired. You know what I'm saying? We get gunned down in the streets. So we'll take the curses and bring it up to date. You understand what I'm saying? Am I losing y'all? Am I over explaining?
Not at all.
So we'll take that situation and we'll bring it to current events. We'll take an old event, bring it up to a current event to fit what we're trying to say. And this is what they did with typology. So 1920, when you first start seeing the typology, it gets all the way on the rise. To 2019, at its peak, it's being used. Typology is being used more than ever right now in 2019, 2020. And you go back up, it says, especially in the Bible. Because what are they doing right now? Don't nobody want to deal in the Old Testament. They want to stay in the New Testament, where all the typology is at. You understand what I'm saying? Let's deal in the Old Testament. Before 1920, you didn't hear nothing about typology. But when they got a hold of these scrolls and start getting somewhat of an understanding of our culture, our inheritance, then that's when the writings became. That's why I said they opened up the book and they sought out our images and replaced our images with their images back in the Maccabees and the Apocrypha. So same thing, that's what they did. They suck out the information. They got the information. They changed the information to fit
Their agenda,
their narrative. You understand? So typology right now at 2019 on this scale is being used at an all-time high.
And when you think about it, they didn't really start pushing this whole Jesus Christ thing, man, heavy on our people. It was like our grandparents, like our great grandparents.
As soon as we went into slavery, they was forcing that on us.
No, of course. But as what I'm saying is, as far as that heavy dosage, like how they just put it all out, just like
God, Jesus everywhere. You got you go into the stores, they got the Jesus on the candles. You go in the 99-cent store, they got Jesus candlesticks.
I know we have.
Bro, that's scary, man. The hell is this?
I know we have brought it out before class, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring it out again since we got Bible study going. Job 31 verse 35, and this is what Job was talking about, man. Oh, that one would hear me. Behold, my desire is that the Almighty would answer me, and that mine adversary had written a book.
So Job is saying his adversary's written a book. Well, what book was they writing? This was that New Testament they was writing. Because even if you want to say Yahushua was real, when he was out there street teaching, guess what they was out there teaching? It had to be from the Old Testament. There was no New Testament at the time when they was walking. So when Job was saying my adversaries make a book, this is what they beginning to start writing on, this New Testament. That's why Ecclesiastes 12:12 says this. Read. You got that? I'm sorry.
Yep, I'm pulling. I was trying to get there. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 12, in the scriptures say, and further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books, there is no end.
Don't worry about all these books, because there ain't no end. Don't be admonished by many books to where there is no end. And what?
And much study is a weariness of the flesh.
And too much study in this New Testament is going to be a worry to your flesh, because you're going to see the contradictions. You're going to look at this and say, wait a minute. The Most High said, I'm the Redeemer. I'm the Savior. I'm the King. But then you get over to the New Testament and Jesus is talking all that. Only way to get to the Father is through me. Well, that ain't what it said that ain't what the Most High said. So you got to keep those things in consideration, man. You got to keep those.
But we also got to understand that the Most High God did it all, man. I'm gonna bring out one more precept, Elder, if that's all right.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 20, verse 24. And the scriptures say, because they had not executed my judgments.
Because we haven't done the Most High's commandments, law, statutes, and commandments, read.
But had despised my statutes.
We despise this. Our people despise the statutes of the Most High God. We tell them you got to keep God's laws. They get hot. They want to argue with you. They damn near want to fight you. I ain't got to do that. Read.
And had polluted my Sabbaths.
We polluted his Sabbaths because look at they doing this weekly Sabbath things.
Or our Christian brothers and sisters are still following the heathen and doing it on Sundays. And their eyes were after their father's idols. Wherefore I gave them also statutes that were not good.
So he gave the children of Israel statutes that were not good. Read.
And judgments whereby they should not live. And I polluted them in their own gifts.
And polluted us in our own gifts. Read.
And that they caused to pass through the fire all that opened the womb.
Right.
That I might make them desolate to the end that they might know that I am the Lord.
So he'll cut us off. He gonna make us desolate just so we know that he's the Most High God. That's his word. Because we ain't doing thus says the Most High God as a nation.
That's right.
Individually, we may be doing things to the best of our ability, but as a nation, far from.
Well, we gotta understand that the Most High God ain't dealing with individuality, man. He judges everybody upon nation, man. You know, for prime example, when you read First Chronicles, the whole 21st chapter, when David took a census on all of Israel, and he was the only one that sinned. Well, guess what the Most High God did? He punished all of us.
All Israel.
Just because David had sinned and did something that we weren't even supposed to be taking place, be a part of, none of that. You know what I'm saying? He judges upon nation, not upon, understand me, individuality.
I mean, we'll get our judgment individually, but as a whole is what he's looking at. You know, he's gonna punish us for our wrongdoings, but as a whole is where we're gonna prosper. So let's get an example of this typology. So you ask one of these New Testament cats, man, that's all right. You ask one of these cats, oh, how should I word this? How is Jesus supposed to come riding in? Is he gonna come when he hit the scene? Is he gonna come driving a car? Is he gonna come walking on foot? How is he supposed to come when the people see him? When he on his second coming, supposedly, right? So let's get it. Matthew, what is that? Matthew
21, right?
Matthew 21, yeah. So this is, and to answer that question, I'm just gonna answer the question, then we're gonna read it. They say he gonna come on an ass, on a donkey, right? When they see him, he gonna arrive on an ass, on a mule, on a donkey. That's what they say. So we're gonna read it. We're gonna read it in the scriptures, because they say this Messiah, when he hit the scene, he gonna come through riding on the donkey, on the mule. That's what they say. That's what the scriptures say. So let's read it.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 21, verse 2. Saying unto them, go into the village over against you, and straightway ye shall find an ass tied and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them unto me.
So this is Jesus talking to his disciples. He said, go over to that village, and when you get over there, you're gonna find an ass tied and a colt with her. So you're gonna find the donkey and a baby colt with her. He say, loosen them and bring them to me. Loosen those animals and bring them to me. This is what Jesus is saying, Yahushua, right? Verse 3.
And if any man say out unto you, ye shall say, the Lord hath need of them, and straightway he will send them.
So he said, if any man gonna ask you, man, what you doing with these animals? You tell them the Lord need them, and go about your business. So now he's saying that he's the Lord.